Welcome back to the Sooners Recap Show. I'm your host, Jason Watkins, along with my co-host, Kchris Griffin from the Horns Down podcast and Mr. Mason from Sooners 360. Welcome to the show, gentlemen. 42-17 win for the Oklahoma Sooners in Lincoln Financial Field
Forty-two
over those
seventeen.
Temple Owls. What up? What
What
up?
what 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 score did you see?
42-3. What did I say? 17?
He said 17.
I
I
don't
said,
know what I
sir,
said that for.
sir. I said, sir, what are you doing?
Almost sounded as bad. Almost sounded as bad as what it's looking like in Austin right now, huh?
That's true.
I mean, if Mike if Mike's dad tells him that you think the defense gave up 17, you know, Mr. Bogo might come looking for you, and I don't want to see him blitzing anybody.
Hey, 104 yards is all they gave up today.
That's like Switzer era defense.
Yeah, yeah. What
I
a
mean,
great stuff. Welcome into the show, Unc, Derek Hamilton, Jimmy Satterfield, Logan Litkey, Sugoi English. Welcome in. Tennessee holding on to a slim lead right now in the game with Georgia. I suspect they blow it as normal, but we'll see. But Kchris, let me know what you thought about today's game.
Hey man, overall, I thought it was a really good performance. I would give them a B minus on the day. Think that we were sloppy just a tad bit on offense at times. Defensively, I thought we played really well, but I thought we could have been even more suffocating than what we were. But overall, man, I was happy. I felt like as the game went on, you did establish a run. Blaylock looks good out there. I was really happy that I got to see a lot of young faces out there get a lot of time too in the game. Again, man, definitely was happy with what we saw from our wide receivers. I was really happy that that Satania got involved in a big way today. Thought he was able to use his speed. So my son is there too. He's screaming for it. But yeah, I was
He's
glad
pumped too. He's pumped too, man. He's pumped.
he's excited. He's excited as well.
I was glad he got to use his speed. But defensively, man, I felt really good about everything, man, that was happening. I felt like you shut it down. There were a couple of times I will say, there's three things I have to say. First off, there were a couple of plays that they ran that I was like, Arbuckle, please steal that. I like what they did with that tight end, kind of hiding him behind the 8 ball. Wasn't even trying to basically run kind of like a loop, like basically kind of like a wheel route or anything like that. They just hid him very well, schemed it up very nicely when they were able to move the ball when they were. But I thought the pass rush was really good. The turnovers, different things like that are going to come. But these teams that we faced thus far have played to the point where they're like, hey, we're not gonna put you in any really precarious situations like that. Second thing I would say, BV, love you, and I think that you have taken this defense to another level. Got to get those plays called a little bit faster.
They seemed like they weren't getting set and down there to where they could get the pressure. I mean, I don't know. I'd love to see him be a little quicker there too.
A little bit quicker, because I think that's what helped them get a couple of first downs today, was just that we could have been quicker on our call, because by the time that we got the call, everybody's going to get set and get aligned, and then boom, here they go. Third thing, we'll talk about it later. I won't stay on it. Soft, bullshit, crap, terrible call today on R. Mason Thomas with the with the targeting. That was terrible.
It was, and then if you go back to the play that got Lewis knocked out of the damn game, if that's not targeting, what the hell is?
Well, if the R. Mason plays targeting, then the Lewis plays targeting. So give us the football back, and we have a shutout. I mean, the defense had a functional shutout today. They did. I mean, let's just call it what it is. It's the second shutout of the season. Just sorry to interrupt there real quick. Second shutout of the season, and and as before we got in here, I mean, 104 yards is like 1980s football defensive numbers. I mean, that's like 2001 OU defense. With Tommy Harris and Lehman and the boys kind of numbers. That's a ridiculous level of defense against a team that is fundamentally better coach than last year, and and has some good. And as Chris with the K told us on Thursday night, they got some good schemes. They got some good stuff, and OU just blitzed them.
Chris Mason, if I may, just jumping in, just one more thing on
Yeah,
top of
no,
what
go.
on top of what you said with that stat, through 3 games, I believe we've held 3 opponents to in 3 games we've held teams combined total points allowed has been 19.
19 points.
So yeah, go
And
Chris Mason.
yeah, and if
and
you've
if it wasn't for that non-call on the, I mean, if they weren't where they were when they got that interception off of what should have been the targeting, they don't get those 3 either. So I think. Go ahead.
I think it's fair to say that the defense has given up maybe 10 points this season.
Yeah.
The 3 against Illinois State were off the pick. The 3 today were off the pick, and 3 more of the Michigan points were off the fumble punt.
The fumble punt. Yep.
I mean, we've given up 2 legitimate drives all season so far. I don't have the Illinois State drive chart. They may have had a little bit of
let me just put it to you this way: they were 7 first downs total in the game, 3 of 16 on third. Oklahoma had 29 first downs on 6 of 13 third downs. Total yards 515 for OU, 104, as I said, for Temple. Yards per pass 7.8 for Oklahoma. They had 2.9 yards per attempt. Yards per rush, 1 yard per rush for the Temple Owls. I mean, there was only 6 penalties overall in the game, and Oklahoma had 5 minutes extra of possession time as well. So, just the 1 turnover there. I mean, I'm waiting for Oklahoma to actually force a turnover. They continue to get them themselves, but again, I don't think that was a real turnover. But again, I think that overall, you look at what they're doing; they're not letting anybody get any room to breathe whatsoever on the offensive side of the ball. And when you go up against it, look, I know that they looked good scheme-wise or whatever coming into this. They played UMass and Howard. So my expectation was, especially after they started chirping and doing some of that other stuff, was that this is probably what was going to happen this morning. The run blocking still concerning. Well, you had your first 100-yard rusher of the season, true freshman Tory Blaylock, 2 touchdowns, 100 yards on 7 yards per carry. I don't know that I agree with that. I don't know that I agree with that.
I mean, you wore on that team. That's what you do. SEC teams, that's what they tend to do. And me and my uncle been talking about that, but you wore on that, you wore down that team, and you broke their spirit as well. Especially, I think for me, I knew that this was going to be a really good day when we went for 2. When we got to 2 on that drive.
Yeah.
But I would say for the most part, man, I thought it was a clean day for the most part. The interception, that was just kind of a bang bang play. Obviously, hopefully Keontae Lewis will be okay. I mean, I feel like he'll be all right. For me, it was just, it was really good to get a lot of guys reps, and you saw a lot of guys on the defensive side of the ball. It was nice to see Zion Kearney. It was nice to see you saw a bunch of receivers out there on the offensive side of the ball. I think defensively, though, you felt really good with your line. I think David Stone, again, flashed today. Jaden Jackson, again, just getting wide open. When we get those 2 guys on the field at the same time, it's going to be a problem because those 2 guys have a lot of chemistry together, obviously playing in high school. But for the most part, I mean, I thought you played really well. I'll tell you, somebody who is improving every single game just from a technique standpoint is Omi Asigo. Sammy O is improving every game from a technique perspective. He's becoming very technical, and that's going to be scary, especially when you combine that with his athleticism.
He gets in the backfield whenever he wants to. I know that.
Yes. It has the linebacker play from Cheetah all the way to just our inside back, inside outside backers or whatnot. It has been really good, and the depth has been really good as well. I I trust Owen Heineke when he's out there on the field. I feel like you have guys that are not just glue guys per se, but guys that can come in here and actually add to what you're already doing, right? To give Kip, to give Kobe a spell. I thought that you were good in the run game today, as far as D line wise, defensively. I thought you were pretty good in the run. Obviously, we're talking about the stats that we had. We were able to stop those two backs from having any big runs, anything like that. I thought for the most part you were able to go out there and pretty much dominate. So again, felt sluggish at some points, felt a little bit sloppy at some points offensively. Think that we could have probably put up a bunch more points, but at some point in that game, I do feel like they kind of took their foot off the gas, so to say, and started just working on certain things. You saw that a lot when Hawkins got in the game.
Yeah, yeah, they did. But even he, when they're flushing him out of the pocket pretty much right away, and he was able to get a couple of big runs as well. I don't really know why they put him in. I think what we talked about the other night, I would have rather seen them wait and have a package for him in a game that matters. I think they all matter, but really, I'd rather see him get a package in a game that trying to get something started, or maybe get a little spark or something. I'd love to see something like that, but it doesn't hurt to get him a little bit of time in the game and knock the rust off a little bit, I guess. What do we think about R. Mason missing that first half against Auburn, though? I mean, is that how does that affect you? I think this is where, if you're asking me, I think this is where you look at it and say, hey, this is an opportunity for the depth of that line to show through. And even at that position, I think it's a good deal. Danny Okoye gets a chance to kind of.
Well, he's banged up though, isn't he?
Oh yeah, I guess.
He didn't dress today, and the only reason you wouldn't have dressed him today is because
for sure. I think
he's banged up for some reason. So
yeah, I mean, but again, we've got a bunch. I think you've got a bunch of guys that are. I mean, Taylor Wine can get in there and do his thing. I mean, there's a number.
We've got depth. I mean,
depth. And this is what's great about this defense. I think that no matter, you're just not seeing a lot of drop off, no matter who they got in the game.
So I'll jump in here and I'll say this right here. The only thing that you worry just a little bit about is this right here. What we've seen from Auburn these first 3 weeks is not what we're going to see in this game next week. There's two things that are going to happen. One, they're going to run a really condensed offense, and they're going to give Jackson a chance to use his legs, because that's pretty much what he's going to have to do mostly. I don't see him. He's passing on some of these teams, these lesser teams, but I don't necessarily know that that's going to be available. Second off, they're going to try to run they're going to run that way. They're going to run at a Taylor Wine or whoever's playing that weak side D end, right? So they're going to, it's obvious. They're going to try to run at that person. And then also with the RPO, they're going to see, can that person be disciplined? So I think this week is a big week for somebody like Taylor Wine.
PJ, if he's healthy, because he's doing serious work stopping the run.
PJ is healthy, all the rest of that. So I think that's a big thing, because that RPO is gonna be there. So I do believe that what's gonna happen is that I think that they're gonna run a short game, kind of like they did last year. Try to run a short intermediate game, excuse me, where basically hitches, curls, different things like that, little stop routes with the wide receivers on the outside, just to try to get the ball moving and keep Jackson out of third and long situations. So it's going to be one of those things where it's going to look a lot like what Michigan was running, but just better personnel out there on the perimeter. So it's going to be interesting. It'll be a chess match for that long, but trust, everything goes the way that we need it to go offensively or whatnot, we should be fine. And by the time we get R. Mason back, then that's when hell is going to be truly unleashed on Auburn next week.
Well, they're going to appeal it, obviously. Basically, his chest tackled the guy, hit the guy's helmet, sort of. It wasn't a helmet. He basically jumped so high that his chest hit him. from that standpoint. Sugoi, Nigel Smith is at defensive tackle. He and Trent Wilson are going to have a hard time seeing the field with the guys in front of them right now. Marcus Strong's playing well as a backup.
He has been.
It was just a flash, but I was stunned at how quick Wyatt Gilmore flew off the snap with that sack. I mean, I'm like, does he have that kind of explosion? Because I didn't see that from him in high school. So if he looked like he's leaned up a little bit. He looked explosive off the ball. I was like, wow, okay. Guys, Tory Blaylock's RB1, right?
No doubt about it.
And if we can give Tory Blaylock 20 carries in a game, he's going to get us 100 yards behind this offensive line, right?
Absolutely.
And with Mateer doing stuff like he did today and some of the fake stuff, I mean, there's big plays there's big plays out there for Mateer in terms of, just fakes, etc. We saw it. They didn't run them against Illinois State, and they didn't run them really, against Michigan. We used Mateer in a different fashion, but there's going to be big yards for Mateer. Like, that's not the only 50-yard touchdown run he's going to have this year. I mean, there's going to be plays like that. Teams are going to have to start gambling what they're going to stop. The only concern would be the third quarter. Mateer went for a couple of drives. What was he, like 2 of 7?
Yeah, and on those 2 drives you're talking about, there was a lot of pressure that was getting through, and he was maybe holding onto the ball a little long, or maybe not rolling out. I don't know exactly what their thought process was on that set of downs, but it feels like maybe those were a couple of throwaway series for him. But
yeah, we were up, and and obviously with the way the defense was playing,
sure,
it was clear they weren't. Once we were up 28, there was just nothing was getting through. I mean, we hadn't mentioned it yet. I think the biggest positive of the day might be the good-looking 52-yard field goal from our kicker today.
I think it was great. I think it was good to see, really good to see. And then Rob asking, do you guys think your running game would be different if you had Ahmad Hardy instead of I don't know, maybe a little bit, but I don't think that it's anything other than Tory Blaylock is that guy. We keep wanting to, obviously that they paid Jaden not a lot of money to come in here and play, but I got to tell you, I want the guy on the field that plays the best, and it isn't close, folks. It isn't close. It's Tory Blaylock, and Tory Blaylock's got a bum shoulder since week 1.
And practicing the best.
Practicing, playing. They started off with Javonte had a touchdown today. Glad to see that and stuff. But it was as soon as Tory got in, those 2 touchdown runs, they weren't just on the goal line stuff. He's breaking to the outside and running through people at the point of attack. It isn't close.
There's a big game coming for him. Like where teams sit back and decide that they're going to try and take away our passing game a little bit more. There's a big game for Tory coming.
Oh yeah. Well, again, he's he had 100-yard first 100-yard day for a Sooner running back, which everybody's been screaming about. But he did it on
14 carries.
14 carries. Yeah, 14 carries. So it's 7 yards a rush. Put him in the game, man. Let him go. Let him get a rhythm going with his run and see how good he gets then.
And if you take away the sack yardage, OU ran the ball probably for 250 yards today. Mm-hmm. There were a couple of sacks on Mateer and a couple of sacks on Hawkins that throw that running total off. But
I want to jump in here and just say I think that the verdict is still out, because I think that it is this team has another gear to get to.
It does. Yeah.
And the fact of the matter is that you look at this Auburn game and you look at the bye week, and I keep saying this, it's important to go into the bye week not only healthy, also on a win. You're 4-0 going into that bye week. You know you got Kent State and all the rest of that stuff. You can rest that week, and then you can start getting guys back. We get Eli Bowen back. We get Dolby played today. You get Gentry's going to be back next week. You're going to get
Devontae Gibson.
Gibson. And at the same time, again, there's going to be a lot of competition, a lot of stuff to see. And again, the thing is that a lot of people play, a lot of people didn't play. I think that I'm still under the impression that they're saving Ott for games that are gonna actually matter. I think that Blaylock is gonna be your one. I think that's gonna happen. But at the same time, behind him, outside of pass blocking and everything, I still think with Javonte Barnes, I still think that RB3 that they want to be able to get to, they want to be able to have kind of a two-headed, but at least if they can, DeMarco will play multiple running backs if he can. So I think that RB3 spot is still there, but I think that the RB2 spot is still there for the taking as well. Just certain things have to happen from week to week in practice. That's just how he coaches. That's his style. That's the style of this team, and that's just how it's going to go.
Touchdown, Georgia.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, I think Makula got rolled up, and we've had to play another center, and Everett's out for a little bit. That's what's being reported on one of the pay sites on OU Insider. That Everett's out for a stretch. Centers seem to be, an endangered species.
Makula got rolled up.
Yeah, I think he's fine, but so they had to. I think they moved Fabechi to center, right?
Mm-hmm.
So our O line was a little bit. Again, this is the luck we just don't seem to have, is we can't get five guys and just keep them out on the damn field, game over game over game on our offensive line.
We hadn't even started SEC play. This is where I pause a little bit. And as much as I love the way they look right now, the offensive line could become a problem if they don't, figure out a way to get a little more healthy. SEC play hadn't even began yet. You're not gonna, this is where you're gonna be as far as
we need your buddy. We need Mr. Dent healthy.
He's on his way back. So
let's not totally overreact. I mean, the thing is that they're
overreaction, Kchris.
I would say this right here is that a lot of stuff right now still is precautionary. We talk about this off camera an awful lot. A lot of this stuff is precautionary. Obviously he got rolled up. Things are going to happen during the games and all the rest of that stuff. But I mean, I just say that we were up big. Guys should have been taken out probably a little bit earlier or whatever the case may be. But at the same time, I just think we just kind of have to wait and see week to week and try to see, because Gentry was suited up. Gentry could have probably played today. He had a little bit of a bum hamstring, but you're holding these guys out. I think that, and reason why I say that, guys, is simply because we all three of us say it. We got this NFL staff. We have this NFL front office and all the rest of this stuff. They're playing it differently. So I think that we still have to adjust to that. That's one of the things I will say, Sooner Nation. Look, yeah, this is what y'all got to do for me, okay? Y'all got to stay off of OU Twitter sometimes, because y'all came in here telling me that this game here was supposed to be a trap game. This was it. I'm telling y'all each week. I'm literally giving y'all the tea leaves. Go watch Eichert and Lehman, please, because they're going to give you the best analysis that there is about this team. I'm giving you guys the tea leaves as far as what I see. I told you guys, I don't know if he's going to have enough time to look off a safety, look off a corner, and then hit a guy and stride down the field. It's just not going to happen. The rush is going to be there. You saw guys like David Stone today just throwing guys to the side and going out.
I agree with that part. I think that you're going to be able to do stuff defensively that's going to keep you out of trouble, and that's what Jeff Shear was just saying as well.
But front office wise and all the rest of that stuff, there's a different approach to all this stuff. So I just think that I get what you're saying, and I get it. And the reason why I brought up the OU Twitter thing is because a lot of people still got a lot of PTSD simply because of what happened last year and all the injuries. And what you're starting to see is that guys are not scratches. Guys are actually available, but we're good enough. The depth, all the rest of the stuff that we've been talking about for the longest, all these key words, these buzzwords that BV has given us, it's now finally came to fruition. this is his best team, and this is going to be his best chance to really. You can argue 23 was his best chance simply because you're in the Big 12, but this is his best chance to go really do something
To
special.
really win, when you get to the playoff, have a chance to win the thing, no doubt.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think, look, I mean, the defense is loaded. We're seeing lots of guys out there. It's just, it's week 3, and Sexton and Everett who are backups at this point, are both out. That's the only, and they're out for a couple of weeks. So that's the only point that concerns me right now is that, the at 2 critical spots, we're just down a couple of guys already, and that's it. And as we said, we haven't even started SEC play. Now, obviously, we have some pieces that, as the season goes on, I think become better pieces for us stepwise on the O-line. But like I said, at wide receiver, I'm not really worried. I do think if they have to hold Keontae out of Auburn, I think it's time to take the plastic wrap off Giovanni Gibson. That's what I would do, but I'm not them, and I don't know the full injury thing, but I think that's what I would do.
I mean, it was just a broken leg. It was a broken leg. So if he's healed and they've cleared him to run and do all this stuff, and if it's precautionary, fine. I can see that. Look, now that you lost Keontae Lewis, you're probably going to lose him for a minimum of a week because we know that concussions, they don't clear them in a week usually, unless it's an upper body injury. But I feel like maybe this is when you give a shot to see him in there. And again, I think you're deep enough at receiver this year that I'm not all that worried about when they get him in there.
Carry On came very close to making a highlight catch today. It was just
Carry On. Don't forget Zion Kearney.
Zion Kearney was in there, and he looks good. So I'm just saying that I think if if you're without Lewis, maybe it's time to take the plastic wrap off Mr. Gibson. He looks like he's ready to go. He's dressed and all that. So, and that could be a big boost to the offense. But yeah, I mean, overall today, again, everyone's like, oh, this could, Josh Pate, the game day guys, this could be a trap game. This team especially on defense, was having none of that. This defense is getting very close. What the comment from the Temple coach today was, he's like, OU has a bunch of savages out there on defense. So we'll presume that was meant as a compliment. We'll take it as a compliment.
Yeah.
So I think if you talked about,
I think it was a compliment.
I think it was a compliment. So again, it was 28-3 at half, and OU had imposed their will on everybody. Auburn's 2:30, guys. It's
From
locked
minute
at 2:30.
minute one.
Yeah, they put the first touchdown, and then the Blaylock running the ball, and again, like I said, the only concern a little bit was that Mateer was a little wild, and we didn't get that 3rd and 1 at midfield that we should have to have another drive, to have another early drive and put the game even further away. There's stuff for them to work on. But yeah, overall though, I love what Satania did today, and Satania,
I did too.
His total yards is probably like 145, something like that, pass receiving and rushing.
He's 50, bro. I like Satania.
Yeah, so I thought that was good. I thought, it's kind of a quiet day for Deion Burks, but that's all right. And overall, again, we had 500 yards of offense and held somebody, basically pitched a functional defensive shutout and ran the ball, at times okay. And Blaylock is starting to get a feel for running the ball, and I think he's RB1.
His burst is the real deal, man.
His burst is the real deal. There's some long plays coming from him. It's just a matter of time. So, Kip Lewis spy on Jackson Arnold. I'd have Kendall Daniels spy Arnold all day. Blow him up.
I like
and blow him up. But yeah,
he ain't gonna want none of that smoke.
Yeah, I think it was. I watched terrible football late Friday night between that K-State Arizona game. New Mexico beating
UCLA. It was trash. And
Coach Prime, Coach Prime's team doesn't look very good either.
Nope.
K-State's, they're
K-State
gonna have to fire Matt Wells.
Terrible.
They need to pull Matt Wells from play calling and figure out something else. I mean, there's a lot of teams of good, experienced coaches out there. I won't say Deshaun Foster's one of those people, but Chris Kleiman is an established professional coach who's coached well, and even he apparently has made he's lost their offensive identity, and they're rudderless. So, last year for Brent, it's not just Brent. If you are a veteran coach and you make a hiring mistake and you lose your culture, it's easy to get wayward.
Hey, I love this comment from Jeff Shear, man.
Oh yeah.
The SEC is wide open this year. There's not necessarily a team that you could just pinpoint. There are a couple of teams. I know my uncle and I, we keep going back and forth about Tennessee, but I mean, the SEC is there for the taking. You just have to go do what you need to do. Stay healthy. That's the biggest thing for us. You got to stay healthy. Guys, I want to point out one guy on that offensive line today. Logan Howland was a man today. He was a man today. He was a dude. He was opening up holes left and right. He was pushing people. He was getting the push. The push is coming. And that's what I'm trying to say is that I know people want us to be a great product from right off the start, and I get that. But I like what BV is saying. I really do buy that as far as I want this team to peak at the right time. I don't want them to peak too early. I want them to peak at the right time. And I think that what you're seeing right now is them being able to get a lot of good reps, a lot of good action. I felt really good going into this game just because I know Arbuckle's going to call a really good game. I thought for the most part today we did play complimentary football.
Yeah.
I thought that we were able to establish the run later on in the game.
500 yards of offense versus 100 on the defensive side. That's pretty damn good.
But again, like I said, guys, I'm not sitting here saying,
one time of possession is what I was saying too.
Yeah, no, you're perfectly fine. No, my point is different than that. I'm just saying, but to everybody, look, my point about the run game is this right here. Yes, I want a 100-yard rusher every game. I want a 1,000-yard back this season, whoever it is. But if we can move the ball to where we're averaging 4 to 6 yards per game, every game, I will take that. I will take that because Arbuckle and Mateer, I'm confident enough in them. So a couple of plays that I want to point out as well. On that first drive, that 3rd and 19 to Kennick, beautiful. Last year, we don't have that. We don't do that. Past 2 years, we probably don't do anything on that. We just hand it off. But you're able to convert on a 3rd and 19, keep the drive alive, and then boom, you go score. Those are things that we have to work on. I don't care if it's Temple or not. Those are situations right there that's going to help this team. It's going to give us confidence. Shout out to Kennick, too. Kennick was definitely a weapon as well today.
I think he's your most consistent guy right now catching the football. I mean, he's just a guy that that you can get it to him, and he's going to make a play. And so I expect that he's probably going to be more involved in this than as the year goes along. He's going to be more of a weapon as it goes along. I can't wait to see what it ends up being. I think he's been the best tight end in the conference so far.
One of the better tight ends in the nation.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And this is 1 year playing. I mean, oh my God. Could you imagine if he'd have come in as a tight end?
Whew. Well, maybe we wouldn't be putting wouldn't have been putting the goat head on Joe John Finley or last year. So is it too bold a statement to say OU has the best defense in the SEC?
Nope. I think it's the best defense in the country.
Now, I don't know about country, but SEC.
Who's better? Tell me, name somebody better.
Ohio State?
Nope. They don't have the depth along the defensive line.
Okay.
They do not.
I mean, if we're arguing over that's over how good it is. But I mean, you watch Georgia.
I think they're good. Don't get me wrong. I think they're good, but their depth on the D line is not the same. It's not the same. I think that overall, I think Oklahoma's easily the best defense.
it's when
I
you
think they got to
see
continue to do it.
when you see Powers and Bogo out there making plays, along with the other safeties we have and the corners we have, and I'm knowing our cornerback room is about to be bolstered with a healthier Dolby, a healthy Eli Bowen, and we get Gentry back, and then you've got Devon Jordan and you've got Cortland Guillory. Uh, and our linebacker room, as you said, Sam O's vaulting up. Oh, and Heineke was playing. It was nice seeing James Nesta out there and Heim playing as well. With the backups, Nesta is just, he's just everyone needs to understand, he's just a redshirt freshman. Takes 3 years to be to get your linebacker certificate in Brent's system. It seems like, the beginning of your third year is when you can really start contributing. I don't know. It was shocking to me knowing that Temple had improved execution wise as much as they had. I mean, I know there was bad teams they were putting points on, but they were executing, right? I mean, they were executing an offense, executing a scheme, and they couldn't do that last year. And OU just basically said, yeah, that's nice, but none of that's going to work today.
Let me bag you up on that, Chris Mason. I want to piggyback off of that because that's a great point. Look, one of the things, as you can hear my child, one of the things that I loved about this game today, and this is why I say this is great for us people, is because 3 years ago, 2022, or whenever it was when K-State, talk about climbing, came to town, what did they kill us with the most? Climbing and Colin Klein. It wasn't anything special. It was motion. They got our eyes looking in that backfield and they killed us with little out routes to their H-back, tight end, fullback, whatever the hell you want to call it. That's what they did. Obviously, Adrian Martinez was able to get us on the RPO a bunch of times, but they killed us on those. They just moved guys around. You can't do that in this BV defense. You have to be disciplined. And that's the reason why I say I wish that we still had Billy Bowman and a Danny Stutzman with this team because that would take it to an even another level. But the thing is that collectively we have dogs on that defensive side and we have guys who are hungry, who understand. And that's why I love a guy like Kobe McKenzie because even though Kobe McKenzie is not necessarily Danny Stutzman, he's a guy that comes there and you don't have all that much drop off. You don't have all that much drop off. What you have is a solid veteran who understands football and understands what's going on and can command that with a lunatic who's just flying around on the side of him, talking about Kip Lewis. So the whole thing is that I love this game because you were able to see a lot of motion and see OU adjust and be able to stop it. So it's not going to stop here. We're going to see this stuff from a lot of other teams. Some of the things they want to do, which is just like complete, it looks like a complete mess defensively, but it makes sense to them, and it's stuff that you're going to see. So I saw Mateer going through his regression. I saw him reading the defense before the plays and stuff like that. It's just stuff that we're not necessarily used to because we haven't seen it in such a long time. I mean, hell, even with Dylan, it wasn't even him reading anything. It was just him basically counting numbers. But actually reading the defense, figuring out, what's going on, what's happening, directing people to where they need to go. Again, I think this is still a work in progress, but love the matchup today just because of what we're going to see down the line.
Again, so just because these are numbers we haven't been seeing. I don't know the last time we saw this. We held Temple to 54 plays.
Yep.
I mean, that's like they were. I mean, under Levy,
game for most people.
Yeah, under Levy, our defense is on the field 80, 90 plays.
Yep.
I mean, I think we had, I think Michigan had 60 plays, maybe something like that.
That's
not
good.
much.
That's
I mean, not much more. And
old school football, bro. 60 plays is old school football, running the ball.
I mean, we had 80. We had 79 plays. That's not a lot of plays. We're not going high speed. We're killing the fourth quarter. We have a lot of depth on defense, but our defense is also just not out there on the field at all that much. At least through 3 games. When you talk about, and Auburn's going to run the ball left and right. They're going to try and kill clock.
Well, the thing
I just threw an interception.
And still, yet again, one thing coming out of this game here that they talked about a lot. Again, OU Twitter, different places like that. Not saying OU Twitter is a bad place, but I'm just saying sometimes we talk ourselves out of a good thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's a yeah, yeah. Go ahead, go ahead.
It's just one of those things where you sit there and you say, "Hey, we were people are not taking away the fact that we were supposed to be tested through the air this game, and we weren't. Why? That defensive line was in that backfield. They told him you're not doing all of that today, and you're gonna have drops. You got guys who their spirits are broken. They're wide receivers. I mean, outside of them basically doing some motion plays or whatnot and doing some bootleg, what wide receiver was really involved in the game today?
The tight end made that one play, right?
Exactly.
I mean, they had one drive all game where they were able to piece, I think, two or three plays
Mm-hmm.
together, and then they did, and then Bogo just about killed their quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
If I have that drive sequence right, I think I do.
No, you do.
Um,
It's just one of those things where I told you guys coming into this on Thursday, you have to take away the tight end, make that quarterback actually work the field and find somebody else. You stop the run game, which I think all three of us believe they were going to do. This is what you turn Temple into. So, again, like I said, it's an impressive performance simply because of the optics, all the stuff that we were told going into this week of what this game could be and this and that. It was impressive. You went up there on the road, that far away from home, having to get yourself up for that game because there's only probably 10,000, 12,000 people in the stands in a stadium that holds over that capacity, obviously. So thing is that it's impressive because you were mature enough to pass that test. This was a good test for us.
I
Yeah.
think you're completely right about all elements of that, and it makes a difference. And Brent had this hysterical comment about how he's pissed off that they don't have more turnovers. He's like, we're playing far too high a level of defense to not have more turnovers, and he's kind of pissed. He's joking that he's kind of pissed off about it. It's a when you watch. I need to go back and watch the full video from his press conference. But Brent seems to have a little bit of a different demeanor, kind of about him. He seems to be getting a little more comfortable. Seems to be getting maybe finally having a defense that works the way he wants. Just makes him a more confident coach. Maybe it's as simple as that.
Having his guys in that defense, and then also him calling the defense, I think that's probably been the biggest difference. You lose Bowman, you lose Stutz. I think BV has tried to take the CEO approach that we all have wanted him to be in, which was kind of handed off to Allie. But I think that at some point, especially on the offensive side too, he got heavily involved. He tried to take it over. And I think now he's able to just do his thing with his guys that he's been working with, winter, spring, and summer and fall. So now I think that you're seeing what his vision. I think you're seeing what he envisioned come to fruition, basically his dream of what this defense could be. And so I like that as him with him as a play caller because I think that now he doesn't have to try to check his ego. He can be as aggressive as he wants. He can lay back as much as he wants. He can do really whatever he wants. It's on him. But I think this is natural for him as far as being a play caller. So I think that whatever they're doing on the defensive side of the ball, love it. Offensive side of the ball, I think that it's just more levels to get to. But I love being able to, and you guys talked about it. Kevin Wilson has been a godsend. I think nobody's talking about that. It's just the fact that now BV can turn his back and know Arbuckle can do his thing, but I got Kevin Wilson right there to act as the intermediary too.
And Wilson and again, it's the trust
He's
level
a huge, huge, huge addition to that coaching staff, man. There's no two ways around it.
and the trust level between I mean, Brent and Wilson were in the trenches together from 2002 to 2011 when Brent left. I mean, they know each other. He understands. Wilson is, you know, if you ever hear Gabe talk about, I mean, Wilson is a hard ass coach from the hard ass, world of hard knocks, but he was also a freaking offensive genius. So to have that guy, on our staff with basically Tulsa paying his paycheck, it's great. And if this is something Wilson can just decide this is what he wants to do for the next X how many years, and be in this role, I think OU. I think it's great because he also gives Bill somebody to work with too. That another eye on the offensive line, a veteran guy on the offensive line where he can go to Bill and say, hey, maybe you should try this, maybe you should try that. So it works. It's beyond just play calling. His reach and guys, I think he's helped Joe John Finley. He coached Joe John Finley in college. I think he's probably
From what we heard, he's been giving him shit since he got there. Like what the fuck's
and everything. My sources says that Joe John has been a much more involved, detailed coach since post Springs when Wilson showed up. That he's, and look, I mean, I know Canick's really talented, but I know we want to throw Joe John Finley under the bus, and I've done it as much as anybody, but at some point, someone's coaching Canick up, right?
Yeah, no doubt.
I mean, somebody is. I mean, I know he's got a wealth of physical, athletic gifts, but at some point, somebody's
also a little natural to him. But I think that you have to be getting coached after 3 years of not playing offense. Now all of a sudden you come in and it's like never.
And the kid's doing all the film work on his own and all that. But
no doubt.
I mean, at some point, we have to give Joe John a little credit for how good Canick looks, right?
Sure, of course.
Well, I'm not sure everybody will do that, but yeah.
Look, I think there's a reason why they've kept him around. He could have left it. You could have got rid of him at any time, and he goes to Mississippi State and they hire him. Or for that matter, Ole Miss would have hired him. They loved him there.
Yeah. So I think it's trending well. I would have liked, if we're going to completely nitpick things to death, I would have liked to seen Mikey Hawkins air the ball out a little bit more.
Yeah. Well, I don't think that they gave him a lot of time to do it.
They didn't, and that's an hour back with Sexton and Everett hurt and Fasusi out. Our backup O-line it's a backup O-line, right? I mean, If you pull our O-line starters, it's a backup O-line. I mean, it really is.
One thing I will say is that I'm trying to just turn any negatives about what we saw in that last few minutes into a super positive. It looks like the mechanics have definitely improved. His maybe he's just healthy, or maybe Arbuckle did something, but that arm strength is definitely there now. Like it's still just a tad bit wild, but it's definitely there. I said, whoa! I said the speed, all the rest of that stuff. I was like, yeah, he could be a problem next year, but yeah.
I wouldn't go so far as saying it's bad. It hadn't been great, but you got your first 100-yard rusher today, and they did really well in the rushing game. And look, we're not going to go all the negative route today. I think that there's nothing to be really negative about. You held a cream puffy opponent to 104 yards. You put up 500.
I think you tried a couple of things.
Points in 3 games.
Yeah, I think you tried a couple of things offensively as well. And obviously the shuffle with the O-line, but still, I think you tried a couple of things as well offensively that maybe you hadn't done previously. I think that you were trying to look for some of those money plays, those cash plays down the field. You can see material really looking down the field, but that'll come.
Tennessee just hit a bomb. It's now 28, Tennessee, Georgia 27. So this is looking like a fourth quarter kind of one possession game.
I need this to hit. I need this to hit for 300 bones, man.
Yeah. But I agree, Chris. I think you hit it. That OU needed a workman-like execution and performance, and got it. And for a young, let's face it, for a team that basically was all over the place last year, they put a mature veteran performance out there, right? There wasn't many penalties, wasn't many mistakes. It wasn't sloppy. It was a little. The offense was a little helter skelter for 2 series, but other than that, it's hard to find a lot wrong with what we did today, and you're nitpicking if you do.
There's a lot to love about this game, and the biggest thing for OU fans, didn't have a letdown game. There's a lot to be said there. UCF a few years ago, can tell you how many times we go out there, Lincoln would win a big game, and then boom, we're playing down to the level of the competition that we're playing. So, one other thing, man. Let's give a shout out to Ryan Waller, man, for coming on earlier this week, man. Always a good time talking to him. Hopefully, he'll come on again or whatnot. But I still think that in the American Conference, everybody's giving me shit about that the last time, but the American Conference, I think Temple will be okay. I think that they will.
They'll play better. They'll play better. They'll play better. Yeah, I mean
they'll play better. I think KC Keeler, that's somebody, and I'm just like, yeah, let's go ahead and do this, because I think maybe in 2 years or so they're going to have a bunch of players. He's laying the groundwork. But I will say, though, if that tight end if he has any eligibility left or whatever, holla at us, man. Holla at us.
Arch Manning getting booed after 10 straight incompletions against UTEP. Shout out to Texas fans everywhere.
Well, he's a generational talent. I don't know what you expect.
Generational talent. Yeah.
I mean, one last thing. I'm looking at the stats here, and our leading tackler only had 4 tackles because we played so many damn people today that the list of folks with tackles is, I don't know, I think it's like 25 guys that maybe had a tackle today or something like that. It's crazy. I mean, Owen Heineke didn't have a tackle today. Cortland Guillory had 1. Jaden Jackson had 1, but you saw Jaden Hardy out there, James Nesta. Taylor Heim had 4 tackles in I guess 2 series. I guess he got that. It was crazy how many guys we played today. And we had guys who sat out today as well. I mean, it's almost like Ronald Spears Jennings and Peyton Bowen kind of took a nap today. A little bit I mean, I know I'm just joking at that, but they just, let Bogo and Powers have some fun today. And
No doubt.
like I said, I mean, you need to.
They both had sacks. They both. He gave up a couple of pass plays, but
but I mean, when you talk to Mike Senior, I mean, make sure he gets out of town before Philly he gets a warrant on him for that hit on that Temple quarterback. My God, that was.
Hold on, it's getting chippy down there in Baton Rouge right now. It looks like he's getting chippy.
They ain't even in their damn pads yet. They're fighting.
Well, that's what you expect, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Bogo. I mean, he just blew that guy. He just came out of nowhere. I mean, it was like, that's the level. I'm just stunned a little, not stunned, but just always surprised. I mean, the physicality of the defense is just shining through at an elite level. I mean, you come to play Oklahoma, Brent's defense is gonna beat you up, and I think SEC teams are gonna be like, this is what happens. We got beat up today. Maybe we'll drop some games or 2, but guys will get beat up playing us. They won't. I think some teams are gonna catch some losses after playing us because of our defense kind of putting the wood to them for that long. So we'll see.
Yeah. No, overall thoughts, man. It was a good day. It's what you're supposed to do. Got to give a big shout out Boganowski. And who else was it? Was it Powers as well? Got a sack today.
Yeah.
Love those little delayed blitzes, those little outside blitzes.
And they come through there like shot out of a cannon, bro.
Yeah.
Love it.
I'm like I said, I'm bullish on this team, man. I think that just gotta take it one day at a time. Biggest thing is gotta be undefeated. Gotta be undefeated going into the bye week. That's the most important thing right now.
Yeah, next big game is our next big game. It's just a season of big games, right? From here on out, it is a season of big games, and we just don't have a break. And as much depth and players we can get back to pad the roster and help out, the better.
I think so. I think it's good that you're going to have some guys coming back here over the next few weeks. But I think next week, I don't know. I mean, hey, listen, South Alabama was within 2 scores of Auburn today.
They were yardage wise, they were basically the same.
Yeah,
yardage wise, they were basically the same.
Right. Their defense is not good. Oklahoma's defense is going to, that I'm not positive that Jackson doesn't curl up in a ball and not come out of the locker room next week.
We'll see. It's by the way, Arkansas
I'm not
State.
saying he's gonna. I just feel like there's something up there.
Arkansas State is giving Iowa State everything they want today. The college football, it is in a chaotic season. We just need to get somehow by hook or crook to 10-2, 9-3, find our way in the playoffs. And if Mateer gets hot, anything is possible.
No doubt. There's no doubt.
So, all right, guys. I think we've killed this game, right? We've killed Temple.
Yeah, man. It was a cream puff you. It was a good. They didn't play with their food. They handled business. Yeah. That's what you want to see from teams that, what do they say? Good teams win. Great teams cover. They more than covered. Love it.
Yeah.
So, here we go. 17-3 Texas. And what Unc said, I wanted to go back to this real quick before we get off here because we got to take a minute to troll Texas. We just got we just got to get a little rhythm at quarterback. I told Arch before the season, you've never really been a quarterback till they boo you. He got booed the first half, and now he can just start playing. It's profound. It's just profound.
Did they boo you in the toilet in Sark's world?
That was so weird. And that's the thing. I mean, I don't know why he would want to say that he's not hurt if he is. And do you make a fucking face like that if you're not hurt?
The whole thing was just bizarre. His press conference, his reaction to it, the whole thing is just weird. It's just very, very strange. I don't know what the hell's going on, but
Texas fans they were like, it just didn't land like he thought it was going to.
It was a weird analogy to guess. That's your go-to analogy. It was a weird one.
Yeah, I think he was reaching for something and didn't find it. He was reaching for something that he didn't find.
By the way, like I said, may not be available for the pod next week because I'm going to coach UCLA football next week because I can't do a worse job than Deshaun Foster. My brother, I talked to my brother. He said, "Is he still employed?" I'm like, "Yeah, they haven't fired him yet." He's like, "How is that possible?" I'm like, "I honestly don't know. I don't know. If I'm the AD, I don't know how you didn't just give him a signed resignation letter and just move on. I mean, they may not win another. They may go 0-12. Their schedule's is that difficult."
So I guess he knew it was a bad throw as he was throwing it?
That's okay. Maybe.
All right. Bullshit. It's all bullshit. He missed all the way around on that.
All right. Later, guys. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Some good games to watch. This Georgia Tennessee thing's going to go to the wire. That's what it looks like. So.
Yep. Yeah, UGA just took a 2-point lead. They got to win by 4. They got to win by 4 to keep my $300 parlay alive.
They keep kicking field goals. They're not going to win by 4 for you.
Well, they're up 2 right now. They could kick one more. They're up 5.
All right, man. Their DBs keep giving up 70-yard plays by falling down. So.
Yeah, but you know how Tennessee is. They'll fuck it off in a second. They always do. All right, guys. Anything else, Kchris?
All right, guys. See
I'll be
you
back on tonight.
Hey,
probably.
Chris, we'll be
Wait.
back on Monday to do recruiting,
Yes, sir. Sounds
and
good.
then Thursday for our regular show.
As always, see you
Thanks,
guys
guys.
on the next one.